Merry meet everyone and welcome back to My Pagan Life once again. Ever since I decided to make this particular video, I came up with an idea for a new video series. This will be the first video in the new video series, a bit of a rant, where if I feel like I need to talk about something serious, or I just want to rant about something, that's what I'll do. I don't want this one to be too much of a rant, and I don't want to make it too long because I've tried to record this video before, and it made me realize that really, this video should be made very simple because I'm only going to be talking about one thing specifically. And that happens to be the reason why I, as a Wiccan, won't go vegan. So, here's the deal, guys. As someone who has been rather invested in this debate or in this discussion, I could have told you about all my reasons for not going vegan, but I do have one reason as to why I, as a Wiccan, don't want to go vegan or won't go vegan at all. With the basic concepts of paganism being love for nature, and with Wicca specifically, with the threefold law and the Wiccan Rede, it is hard for some to see how Wicca and paganism are not very vegan-friendly or how veganism is not compatible with Wicca. And I'm not here to tell anyone what they should believe or what they should do. If you want to be a vegan because of your pagan or Wiccan path, that's fine, but for me it doesn't make as much sense. I am just going to tell you the most basic principle in my belief when it comes to this discussion, which leads me to believe that really veganism isn't compatible with my belief and my path, and why I don't believe in veganism in general. Also, another disclaimer, I am not meaning to offend anybody, so anybody who walks away from this video and feels offended or feels the need to tell me that they're offended, I bear no responsibility, because I am not out to offend anybody. With that said, let me get on to the point. In a sense, it can all be summarized into one sentence, and that is the following. I don't want to be in a zoo. Now hold up, that brings up a whole bunch of connotations that are negative and so on and so forth, so allow me to explain myself. Most people in our modern societies have been to a zoo, which is a paid experience in which you walk through a park and view animals. You admire them, you go, "Aw, it's very nice, it's fascinating, it's cute," it's all of the nice things. It's basically like enjoying nature itself, but in a safe environment. Now here's the problem. Everything in a zoo is contained, and all the animals and all the creatures are behind glass walls. All we have to do is take a look at it, think whatever we wish to think of it, and then just not have to take the consequences. And to me, that's what veganism is in a sense. It's something that distances us from true nature, the real world, and that allows us to paint a picture of nature as we so wish. And in my opinion, that's not something good. Now the way I'm putting it makes it sound like vegans are unrealistic and everybody else who eats meat is realistic, but that's not true either. Don't get me wrong, this is an experience that pretty much all of us live. When you're also a hardcore anti-vegan and you're all about eating meat, what you're literally doing is that you're allowing yourself to believe whatever it is you wish to believe, while really, it seems like there's another reality out there. This applies to everyone. But the thing is that just like anti-vegans are anti-vegans, vegans are vegans, and veganism is a very set-in-stone ideology. You're basically saying absolutely no to certain things, and in this scenario, it is dairy products and meat. And the thing is that it takes dedication to be vegan, meaning that being a vegan for you, chances are it was a very deliberate decision. And this means that you probably thought through a lot of things before jumping into veganism. And that is also something that makes vegetarians different from vegans, because I get the feeling that vegetarians are more lax, they're more liberal on this whole thing. They mainly choose to be vegetarians for other reasons than the animals, for example, and really, it's something more of a relaxed thing to them. Whereas most vegans I have met are all about about not doing this and not doing that and not doing all of these things. You can only do these things. And the fact that veganism becomes so rigid makes it a bad thing, in my opinion. It's basically one out of many ways to create your own narrow-minded tunnel. And anyone who strives to understand nature and the world around them more in a bigger sense than in this sense, that is very challenging and not compatible at all. Well, I shouldn't say at all, because there are many Wiccans and pagans who are vegans, but you get my point. Pagans and Wiccans are people who should strive to understand nature and open up to nature, harmonize with nature, and love nature. And for me, it doesn't make sense to do that through a very narrow lens. And it is my basic philosophy and belief in this discussion that humans are omnivores. Sure, humans are very adaptable. If we live in Asia, we can almost live a completely vegan diet and it won't hurt us one bit. Just like we can live in very cold climates and almost live off of no plants and still survive perfectly fine. But the point is that we are basically omnivores. And considering that I live in Norway too, I live in a country that is not very vegan, that is not very vegan friendly because of the climate and the harvest season, and all of these things just come together to me, and it makes a lot more sense to me not to be a vegan. Basically, as a nature person and as someone who wishes to understand nature more, I don't really think that veganism is the optimal lifestyle. But really, I shouldn't be telling you what is the optimal lifestyle for you. I'm just here to tell you what I think. That said, I do agree with a lot of what the vegans say, because I truly believe in cutting down on the meat consumption, because it does benefit our health, it does benefit the animals, and it does benefit the planet. My problem with veganism is that it is so restrictive, it's rigid, and to most of us other people, it's rather extreme. Again, I do believe on cutting down on the meat consumption, but speaking of that, isn't it better that we take it slow and save the planet that way than that we do something that really isn't gonna work? Because that's another thing that bothers me. You see, if we want to contribute and help the planet, we need to do something that works more efficiently. At this moment, veganism isn't what's going to save the planet. That is why I am a believer of vegetarianism, because vegetarianism is doable for most people. It's not as expensive, it's not as extreme or foreign as veganism is, and I can guarantee you it's a lot easier to get more people to go vegetarian than it is to get more people to go vegan. Asking people to go vegetarian, or asking people to have one vegetarian day or vegan day a week, is a lot more effective than trying to convince everyone that they should give up on everything they're used to just so it shall save the planet and be nice to the animals. Basically, to me, veganism is a tad over the top, and it's a little bit too restrictive, a little bit too narrow, and I don't really think that is a good way to go about understanding the world or making a change in the world, for that matter. And as a Wiccan and as a pagan, this ideology just doesn't work for me. Whether you agree or disagree with me, feel free to share that down in the comments below. Feel free to also continue debating some of the points that I've been bringing up. And yeah, I would like to start conversation. That's sort of what this is all about. But at least now you guys know my reason. Also guys, I would like to notify you about my GoFundMe fundraiser or campaign, where you can donate as much money as you want to contribute to my pagan life's growth. Whether it is to finance things that I can review on my channel, or just simply finance me in my pursuit of becoming an adult and like having a bit of extra cash, then you can support me through GoFundMe. Get more information by clicking the link in the description below, and thank you guys to everyone who chooses to donate. This whole donating thing is a little bit new to me, so I'm gonna be interesting to see how it goes. Anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment whatever you wish. Remember to participate in My Pagan Life's most recent survey, and until next time guys, blessed be from My Pagan Life.